Okay, now it's your turn. Now your turn. You'll see this in multiple videos. I have 8 examples here. What I want you to do, I want you to pause the video, write all 8 questions down, and then I'll come back and I'll go through it with you and see if you did it right. Make sure you do it yourself first, even if you miss it. I'm not really grading on this. We just got to know this skill before we can do the next one. So try it out, and we'll come back. All right, let's see how you did. Very first thing when I do problems like this, I go through the rules. Rule number 1 said anything not a 0. So I'm just going to go mark everything that's not a 0 because that's an easy rule. So I'm just going to mark them all. Got it. Rule number 2, sandwich rule. That one's easy to find. I see the sandwich rule there. I see sandwich rule there, sandwich rule there, sandwich rule there, sandwich rule there. I see the sandwich rule there and there and there. Okay? Rule number 3. Well, if I look first, number 1, I have 2 sig figs. I can already see it. I've already used up everything. Question number 2, there's 4 sig figs. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all compensated for. Number 3. Okay, so rule number 3 on the list said zeros at the end of the number and after the decimal. So, okay, zeros at the end of the number. It's at the end of the number. Is it after the decimal? Yes, that's important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have gotten 6 there following the rules. Those are all taken care of, so that's also 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, next one. Okay, so I already did rule 1, rule 2, sandwich rule. Rule number 3, zeros at the end of the number. Those aren't after the number. They're after the decimal, but that doesn't help me. Do I have a bar or a free 0? Nope. What are the job of those? Do you remember? Placeholders. That's exactly right. So I'm only sure of 3 numbers in that. Okay, so reminder. It's 403 and a fraction, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths. So the zeros aren't even part of it. So there's only 3 important numbers. Did you remember the shortcut? Something times 10 to a power. You sort of ignore this and count 1, 2. 2 sig figs. Doesn't matter if it's the -6, you would just back the decimal up, but it just makes a bunch of placeholders. 3 sig figs. 1, 2, 3 numbers. However many numbers are written right there is it. Okay, in this one I have placeholders again, don't I? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sig figs. Ready for the crazy one? I didn't even show you this in the last one, but watch this. If I took this same number, okay, took this same number and let's say this is question number 9. Make sure you write this one down. I'll do it with you. 9. Write that number down. What do you think happens if that's a 5? If I'm correct, that's 50 and that whole decimal. 50 and that whole decimal, right? So let's look at the rules. Rule number 1, anything's not a 0. Okay, got it. All those numbers. Sandwich rule, got it, got it, got it, got it. Rule number 3, zeros at the end of the number and after the decimal. Oh, did you see I missed the rule? Look here. What's happening there? Sandwich rule. So it ended up being all of them. If you have stuff on both ends of it, you had it. Without the 5, those 3 zeros are placeholders. When there was a 5 there, it's 50 and that decimal, so they're now included in the number, so they're important. Being able to count significant figures. You're going to have an activity where you'll do this on your own. Do your best. Use your notes. It'll help you. I bet you're doing great at this. Keep it up.